Hi, this is Rick from Live Well Custom Homes, and today's topic is high-tech homes and when do you spend too much and when does high-tech become unfriendly. One of my personal experiences, 3 years ago, I went to design a home for myself. And I wanted to make sure that 3 years ago, it was the most high-tech, most modern house at that time. I was convinced into buying one of the large, all-encompassing programs, services. And over the 3 years that I've had this in my house, I found that those particular products, and it was I had a choice between either Savant or Q4, is it? Control4.
Constant maintenance, yeah.
It was the constant maintenance I've had over the last 3 years. Over the last 3 years, I've had to have the technician out here to sit there and reboot my stuff. I've lost connection. And each time that I lose connection, I didn't have the ability to fix it myself. I had to call their representative in to come in. And after spending a large amount of money on this system, I met Matt from Mark's Electronics, and we sat there and we talked about different things. And what I found is, from my personal experiences, I can do the same thing that I could get done on one of the bigger systems just by using smaller systems on my phone, and they're more user-friendly. When they go down, it's easy to reset. But when the bigger systems go down, it's like a maintenance contract. You know, again, in the 3 years I've been here, I've lost connection 3 times, and I've had to come in each time and pay them. So Mark, why don't you talk about how we can sit there and make a house smart and how it makes it easier in our life.
Thanks, Rick. So at Mark Electronics, we've really come with a design philosophy that's centered around having systems that are in their own lane, as we call them. So we use apps that are designed by the company for that company to control their own products. And by that we mean there's a MyQ app to control garage door functions, an alarm app that controls the function of the alarm system, a Sonos app that controls the individual music functions inside the house. When something doesn't work, it's typically due to a system update or an app update through the Apple App Store. Once these things are kept up to date on their software and they're done by the end user, everything typically ends up working every single time perfectly because you are using the app that's made by that company to control their things. We end up with a very similar, even a better result than these larger, fully connected homes. We're already used to using separate applications in our everyday lives for news and media and things of that sort. We're essentially doing the same thing inside the house, from lighting control to your viewing of your cameras around the house. We're essentially ending up at the same place, just doing it a little bit less complicated, which generally ends up to a little bit less cost and more value.
You know, that's one of the things I've really found is, I'm not a tech expert like yourself, and my apps being user-friendly is extremely important to me.
It's the whole customer experience, and that has a direct reflection on all of us, how you build your houses, how we manage the technology inside of them. If the customer has a better overall experience in dealing with our company and our products, we feel like they have a higher tendency to report those things to other clients as well. So when things day one or day 100 are working within the expectations of the customer, then we feel like there's greater value there too.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think are must-haves in every home in today?
Top of our list is a fully connected network inside the house. Every piece of equipment now is generally connected to the internet. So starting with the home network and specifically the Wi-Fi, all of these other items fall in line behind that and work properly if the network is done right from the beginning. So we use a product It's a mesh product. We place these beacons around the home, and it spreads globes of Wi-Fi in a specific area. If there is a dead spot, we just simply plug one of these things in, and it creates a mesh in that area. But after the network is done properly, all these other pieces kind of fall in line. Security is a top priority, protecting the entire inside of the house. Surveillance is generally a must-have, being able to see what's going on around and have all of that video stored in a cloud with analytics is generally important to most of our customers. Music and having different themes and environments around the house where you can turn on speakers in a kitchen or outside like on a covered patio here is important as well.
I'll tell you, my Sonos in my house, I use it every single day. To me, Sonos, probably one of the best products, most widely used products in my house.
And that's because it's easy to use. It's reliable.
And hence, I can use my Sonos one of two ways. I can use it on my more expensive Savant program, where they have control. It's very difficult. It's not user-friendly. It's easier for me to download the Sonos app,
Sure.
and I just control it from my Sonos. That to me is number one.
Because it's easy to use. It's reliable.
It's reliable. It's easy. Absolutely.
Yes.
What would you think? Number two? Yeah.
The entertainment spaces with televisions, we really feel like the customer, the user experience has to be easily duplicated. So when you move from one space, like a great room, into a master bedroom, we
Right.
like to keep all of the same things that the customer interacts with during that visit the same. So whether that's a Comcast remote or a Sony remote, we like to duplicate this every time.
Yeah, it's definitely more user friendly. Like you said, you're in the living room, you're watching a show, you turn it off, you go in the master bedroom. It's the same exact controls.
Yes.
And the same with the music. Like you said, each Sonos zone, you click a button, you're in a different room. You can pair the same music throughout the whole house. So just that, like Matt said, the repeatability makes it user friendly overall.
One of the things I've learned from my personal experience, once again, is that on my more expensive system home network that I purchased, I can create lighting scenes and moods. Mm-hmm. To create those moods and scenes in their settings is extremely difficult. I downloaded Lutron, which is basically the wireless switch that I have. It is so much more easier for me to create my scenes in Lutron. With what?
By them for their products to control.
And it's just, I love the fact of being able to make my own scenes, turn lights on at a certain time, turn them off at a certain time, because I travel a lot, so it makes somebody look like I'm home. Let me ask you, the Ring cameras and that, what's your thoughts between the Rings and then maybe a in-house camera system?
So our Ring-style doorbell is called a Skybell, and that becomes part of an ecosystem that interacts with the alarm system. So these cameras, including the Skybell, have analytical capabilities. We can draw a specific invisible boundary around the exterior of the house or just at the front door, and if something enters within that field of view, whether it's a person or a car, if there's a camera that looks down a driveway, it can give us real-time information about what's going on around the outside of the house.
It alerts you.
Correct.
Now, again, in my system, I have 6 cameras around this house. But if someone comes to the door or my back door, it doesn't alert me. I don't know anybody's there until I go back down in my basement where my computer station is, and I have to look at it. I have to sit there and rewind it. What's nice about this product, much better than my expensive product, is that it does alert me.
Yeah.
Lets me know someone's there.
One of the other parts to it too, like you said, when you travel a lot, one of the cool things about the systems are when that doorbell detects motion or someone presses the button, you can actually program it to turn on interior lights. So you may be thousands of miles away, but when someone presses that button, just maybe possibly see if you're home, those lights turn on and might potentially have an intruder think otherwise. I
have $40,000 of high-tech stuff in my house, and it doesn't do that. That's insane.
And not to mention the dynamic of having these items be voice controlled too.
Wow.
Hey Alexa, turn on the kitchen lights. Hey Alexa, show me the doorbell, camera. All these things are now voice controlled because they don't have a central brain that makes them communicate together.
Right.
They're all just done over the internet.
So let me ask you this. If I want let's say 3 levels of smart home, okay, what am I looking at spending or investing?
We can do a really smart and connected house for under $5,000.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I spent $40,000.
Yeah, and this stuff, it works. We have agents that sit on networks that just look at the overall topography and the performance of these systems and how well they're connected. Austin can bring up on a laptop and show you every single device that's connected in your entire house. If something like a printer is offline or a deadbolt falls offline, we can usually heal a lot of those things without having to send a truck to your house and inconvenience you with time. And not to mention where we are at right now with the coronavirus, it's not really ideal to have someone come into your house for a service call and potentially expose you to other things. So if we can fix and heal a lot of these things remotely, it's really a win for both our customers and us, just from a time standpoint. So,
Well, this wraps up our section on Tech Talk in the home. Hopefully it will help you make better decisions when you design your next home. Thank you.